Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt, Super Coach. Today we're talking monster producer. You know what I believe, right? You know I believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skills to dominate a market. And you got to have this desire inside of you to want to be a monster producer. And the common theme is I want more of something. I want more impact. I want more money. I want more time. I want more structure. I want more confidence. I want a bigger team. I want more scale. But you got to play at a bigger level. And many times in my life, I was thinking too small. And Maya Angelou said, when we know better, we do better. When we know better, we do better. Well, one of the biggest challenges I see monster producers face, and people out there trying to get off the fence on, is how do I make monster decisions? How do I make, what kind of filter do I need to use to make very big decisions? Like, should I hire more people? Should I market my services? Should I build something new? Should I contract? Should I expand? And so in today's Monster Producer session, what I'm going to show you is how to make monster decisions. Because when I look back in my life, there were some big seminal decisions that I made. You know, at 15 years old, I made a decision to be a coach. At 18 years old, I had the initiative to go get a little coaching job at Woodbury Grammar. At 19, I went to the second largest high school in Tennessee. At 22, I became the head coach of the second largest high school in Tennessee. At 25, I went through a huge breakup, but I learned about rejection, and I decided to write my own book. At 31, I won a championship, which catapulted me in that arena, and I decided to leave athletic coaching to start my own business. You know, at 35, I decided to get married. You know, there's all these big decisions that I made. I decided to build an enterprise versus be a solopreneur. You know, I mean, there's all these big decisions along the way that I made. And some of them was because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of something. Some of them were because I knew that there was a bigger calling in me, which has pulled me. And this has been a big part of my life, is things that have pulled me toward him, pulled me to building new greatness factories, pulled me to starting Monster Producer, pulled me to expanding my message. It's like a force that is pulling me toward it, toward my potential. So in this session today, we're going to really dig in, and we're going to talk about how do you play at a much bigger level, right? How do you play at a much bigger level? Okay, and I'm going to try to get that. How do you play at a much bigger level, and how you, okay, as a monster producer, take the next big decision. What is the next big decision? You're watching Monster Producer, and I'm Coach Michael Burt. Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. I've been privileged to coach some of the biggest players in the world, and they all have one thing in common. They want more time, more freedom, more money, more scalability. And here's the big one, they want more impact. You know, our Monster Producer coaching program is a monthly systematic coaching cycle, every 30 days, live, in a room with 30 to 40 other like-minded achievers, people who want more impact in the world. Here's what they know, they got to get their revenue up. So one of the biggest things I tackle in Monster Producer is a selling system. 10 strategies in a systematic and coordinated way that help you drive monster leads. Once I get your leads where they need to go, I get your impact up, I get your ability to close more deals up. You're going to be bringing in more money, which is going to give you the ability to scale, grow, expand, multiply, market. Why don't you invite somebody with you? April 26th, I'm coming to Knoxville, Tennessee in the morning, and then I'm going to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Guess what? I'm coming back every single month for 1 year. Do you want to be a monster producer? And if you do, email us info@coachburt.com or go to monsterproducer.com. All right, so today we're talking about monster decisions. And I want you to think about some of the biggest decisions you've ever made in your life, and more importantly, how to get you off the fence on a decision. See, I believe this. You are sitting on a major decision right now. In either your personal life, your business life, your professional life, you're sitting on something. And that is prohibiting you from taking action. Now, why are you sitting on something? Too much information, too many priorities, not enough information, not enough influence, not sick and tired of being sick and tired, not motivated by your potential. For some reason, you're sitting on a decision not to spend some money, decision not to grow. So how do we help you get off the fence on a decision? I'm going to give you a framework on some of the decisions I think you need to get off the fence on. Number one, I think you need to make a decision about the culture you're going to have. Okay, and what I say is there's three things you need to have a great culture to pull people in. You got to have some cheese on the mousetrap. That's some bait, right? That's a reason for people to come. You got to have a reason for them to come back, and you got to have something for them to talk about. So if you make a decision to say, I'm going to build a great culture, a culture that gives birth to the potential of people. I'm going to build a culture that consists, I'm going to build my own greatness factory. Well, if you're going to build your business and get off the fence on this decision, you got to have three things, man. You got to have a reason for them to come in. That's cheese on the mousetrap. Most people don't have the bait. You got to have a reason for them to come back, and you got to have something for them to talk about. So think about this one. If we were breaking this down, and we've been doing this in Monster Producer in my monthly coaching class, we've been breaking this down. What is your cheese on the mousetrap? What is your something that gets them in the door? What is your draw? You know, back in the early 80s, Tony Robbins' draw was, you're going to walk on hot coals, right? You're going to walk on hot coals. You're going to overcome your fear. You're going to punch through the thing. I mean, there's all this stuff you're going to do when you come to our workshop. Those were gimmicks. They were draws, right? But it pulled people in because nobody else had a gimmick. He was the first one to do infomercials. And so I'm sitting there looking at my business, and I'm going, I own a coaching business. There's millions of coaching businesses. There are millions of speakers. What can be my hook? What is my draw? What's my cheese on the mousetrap? Is it my energy? Is it my systems? Is it my structure? Is it my shock value? What is it? You got to start thinking about what your draw is. What pulls people in to you? Because the number one problem most people have when it comes to their business is they don't have enough revenue. They don't have enough revenue because they don't have enough customers. They don't have enough customers because they're not solving enough problems. And they don't have enough customers because they can't get them in the door. They don't have any cheese on the mousetrap. So the purpose of this exercise right here is for you to stop and think about, what is my cheese? What is my cheese? So if you look at me, my cheese is video, audio, podcast, all kinds of free events that I do, all kinds of things that I push out to the market to try to pull people in and attract people to me. Now, once I get you in the door, once we get you in the door, our goal is to get you into something that is monthly, recurring, and systematic. We want to get you into Monster Producer where you're paying a monthly fee. We want to get you into our online academy where you're paying a monthly fee. A monthly, consistent revenue model so that there's a reason to come back. And the reason to come back is every month I'm going to bring you something new. I'm going to bring you something new. I'm going to bring you something new. We can't get there in one month. We got to engage you in a set of systematic behaviors. So we got to draw. That's the bait. Hey, sit in my class for free. Come audit for free. Come hear me speak for free. Listen to my podcast for free. Watch my videos for free. Subscribe to my YouTube for free. Get my weekly strategy for free. And if you like it, get on in. And once you get in, come back. I'm going to give you a reason to come back. And so I keep creating different levels. Monster Producer 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, Mega Monster. These are all reasons for you to keep coming back. And then I got to give you something to talk about. I got to give you something to talk about. And what I mean by that is people don't talk about common things. They only talk about uncommon things. And this is a struggle. I stay up at night. I'm just like, what I'm saying is common, man. I got to bring something different. I got to create an experience that's different. I got to create something unique and differentiated. I got to give them something to talk about. And if you can't give them something to talk about, then you can't grow your business. So today, what decisions have you got to make? There's two big ones. One, what is your cheese? Two, what did you come back? Three, what are they going to talk about? Okay, and here's the other decision you got to make. What do I need to freaking torch in my business? You know, my buddy Matt Monero's torching his business. He said, I'm here and I want to get to here. What are you willing to get rid of? What are you willing to cancel out? What are you willing to guts up on? What are you willing to say, I don't like this and we ain't tolerating it anymore? I'm making a decision, a gut-level decision to go to a much bigger place in the world. And to do that, the skills that got us out of Egypt can't always get us to the promised land. Some people were more valuable to us in the past than they are in the future. When you get this part, then you start saying, I got to let this go to get there. You've heard it said before, what got you here can't get you there. All these kind of cliches, but that's the truth. What you got to do is you got to torch some things. Torch some things that ain't working in your business. So 2 big monster decisions you got to make. One is, what do you got? What do you really got to pull them in? And 2, what are you willing to torch? What are you going to go back and say, I'm out, man. This is not working. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Monster Producer. When we come back, we're going to ask a question. What monster ability do you have? Because one of the decisions you got to make is, what have I got? And who would be willing to stroke me a big check for it? And until you have clarity on this relationship, some call it the fundamental relationship. My monster ability, who wants it? It's a perfect fit. There's deep value. There's a vested partnership. Until you got that, man, you're really majoring in the minors. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and you're watching Monster Producer. Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. I'm so excited about bringing my biggest coaching program, Monster Producer. That's right, the legendary creatures, to Knoxville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee. What will we be covering in Monster Producer? This is a monthly, systematic, live coaching program with high levels of accountability, with other like-minded monsters just like you, of people who would like to dominate their markets. We're going to be covering, how do you explain your services, which will drive up your close ratios, give you more confidence, help you meet strangers and sell to new markets. April 26th is when I'm coming. Why don't you raise your status? Invite some other people to come with you to Monster Producer. Like gravitates toward like. Association breeds assimilation. The only people that come to me are people that want more time, more money, more freedom, more impact. I want a monster life, don't you? April 26th, Knoxville, Tennessee, 9 to 10:30 in the morning. Chattanooga in the afternoon from 1:30 to 3. Come on down and be a monster producer. Go to info@coachburt.com. Email us and tell me I'm in, Coach. Put me in, Coach. I'm coming to see you in April. All right, we're trying to get you off the fence on some big decisions. We're calling these monster decisions. And so for you, when you're thinking about this, I said there's some things you got to think about. Number one, what's your culture, right? You got to make some decisions on your culture. You got to make some decisions about scaling you up. You got to make some decisions about torching. You got to make some decisions about what's the next right move you got to make right now, which is hard, isn't it? So much confusion, so much clutter about what move you need to make next. I get it, man. I get it. You're getting hit in multiple directions by all kinds of people. You're in the current of the urgent. What I'm trying to do is filter it right down. What is your dominant focus? Where are you trying to get to? What's the highest use of your time? Who can help you get there the fastest? Okay? These are decisions that you got to make. So when you're thinking about that, I just want you to know that money is tied to culture. You draw, you come back, you talk about. Okay? You got to make some decisions about what it is you're really selling and to whom, right? And one of the things I've been pushing to sell is this concept of this $1 million machine. How do you make you bigger than you? And the $1 million machine is part of Monster Producer. Is how do we take you, one person, and scale you up to where you're not jumping from 1 million to 2 million, but 1 to 5 and 5 to 10. And we do that through the explanation of service, through the selling system, through the follow-up, through the experience. And then we're pushing you out using the person of interest strategies to come back in. So these are all big decisions that you got to make. Do I want to be big? Do I want to be small? Do I want to push? Do I want to stay? Okay? And so for you, just remember this. Kevin Kelly wrote an article many years ago called 1,000 True Fans. And he basically said that a musician could make $100,000 a year if he or she just created 1,000 fans that would spend $100 on them. I believe you can make millions of dollars if you just have 25 to 30 or 40 people that absolutely dig your stuff. And the next thing you know, you got 1,000 fans and 2,000 and 5,000 and 10,000. And the next thing you know, you just kind of blown up and scaled. It's not one phone call. You know, I've been in the studio today doing podcast interviews. It's not one podcast. It's not one book that you write. It's not one Facebook post. I know we want to write something and it go viral and blow us up, but most of those people are one-hit wonders, by the way. They're one thing. They're not consistently pumping stuff out to the market. So I just want you to know how How hard, how much are you going to push? What is your decision to really take it to the masses? Okay, so if I told you, look, it's make a dang decision day today. I need to torch this. I'm going to become great at this. I'm getting off the fence at this. I'm going to quit operating in fear in this area. I'm going to play at monster levels. There is nothing stopping me. When I see a person that's out there in the world that's operating at a pretty high level, there ain't nothing but a difference between them and me. Maybe it's confidence. That's it. It's not talent. I put my 25 years in just like they put their 25 years in. So it could be I got a marketing problem, exposure problem, so I got to get better marketing. Could be I got a team problem, is I can't handle the force and velocity of scale that we're trying to push, right? So for you, what is the main issue you got that you got to get off the fence of, okay? Now, here's one thing I promised you, and we're going to finish on this one. We're going to call it monster ability. Monster ability is some superior ability. And people ask me all the time, what's the one thing you got to do? What's the one thing you got? I mean, people are asking me today on this podcast, what's the one thing you got to figure out? I think you got to figure out what is your ability and who wants it. What do you have and who's interested in it? How does your ability solve somebody else's problem? It's called the fundamental relationship. I got a very special skill set, and here's people who are willing to pay for it. I got a very special skill set, and here's people who are willing to pay for it, okay? And until I know what I got, I can't find it, I can't package it, I can't sell it. I got to know what I got to package it, I got to sell it. And then I got to sell it at massive levels, not little bitty levels. I got to sell it at big levels, which means I got to push it out. So first, what do I have to know? What do I have? So I want you to think of it this way. Based on my unique past and my unique experiences and some of my unique mentors, I've developed a unique skill set of doing this. Okay? Just stop right now and think about this. Based on my unique past of this, and this, and my unique experiences of being exposed to these things, some of my unique coaches that I've had, I've really developed 2 or 3 things that I feel like I could do better than anybody in the world. Once you know what this is, once you make a decision to really dig in and find it. We've got a guy, monster producer right now, Shane Ray, who's really trying to find it. He's gone through all the unique ability tests. He's been a monster producer. He's positioned himself as the big kahuna. It doesn't have to be boring, but what he's really trying to figure out is who would buy this? Who would buy it? Could he take it to every industry out there that's boring? Who would purchase that? Not just a concept. It has to be boring, right? This concept, $1 million follow-up in this little book, let me tell you who will purchase this. Anybody who is in the sales profession that wants their salespeople to follow up better would buy this book. It's an action concept. It's a follow-up mechanism. It's a push out there in the market. So for you, you got to find it, you got to package it, and you got to sell it. What is packaging? Anything the consumer can feel, touch, taste, smell, see, learn, build affinity. And then you got to make a decision about how hard you're going to package and sell it to the world, guys. That's really the decision you got to make. Now, every single month, I come to you with a new monster producer. This would be considered Monster Producer 3.0 Session 4, right? April. How to make monster decisions. And I want you really digging in on this because, listen, the people that make the most money in the world, have the most impact in the world, move the ball down the field faster than anybody else. These are people that have found their deal. And let me tell you something. There is nothing, don't miss this part, nothing that's separating them from you other than they made a dang decision to go big. That's it. They ain't any better than you, trust me. They just made a decision to make themselves bigger than themselves. They're using that $1 million machine I'm talking about to go out there and push it. So I got to have you make that decision today. Get off the fence. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. Okay? Today, I'm going to be that force for you. Okay? I'm going to get you off the fence so that you go out in this month, the month of April, and you make some big monster decisions. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being in my Total Growth Academy and getting Monster Producer so that you can operate at legendary levels.